Hi, I'm Becky from Dot to Dot Studio.
And I'm Sarah from It's Oh So Kotoko.
We're going to start today, as ever, by telling you what we're wearing. I am in the Talviki sweater, which is a named pattern. This is one that I've made up in a scrummy boiled wool. And
So beautiful.
Yeah.
And I am wearing the Soho House 7 toaster sweater. I think it comes in two versions, so I'm wearing version 1. And what I like to do sometimes is just fold the neckband down, to give it a slightly different look, because the neckband is so the neckband can actually be sort of like a lot higher. Yeah. And I wear it like that quite a lot, but just every now and again I'm like, no, I kind of fancy just wearing it a different way, just to give it a bit of a different
look.
Day
like today, where actually it started off pretending it was going to be really cold, which is why I'm wearing wool and a scarf and thermals. I'm dying of heat right now, but I'm keeping this on for you guys. So it's quite nice when you can roll it down and have a bit more air, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Whereas, I will be taking this off as soon as we stop filming. So boiled wool. I mean, this is so warm. This is why I'm just cooking today. So this is a colour that actually is from last season, so we don't stock this one anymore. And here's another one, because I've actually made this sweater twice. This is
such a nice sweater.
Another one. Rather than showing you this one, I'll show you this one. So you can see the detail at the neck. So it has this funnel neck with darts and cat hair, which come up to a really lovely shape at the neck, which gives you the shaping across the chest, without it being too stiff at the neck.
Out of interest, is there standard fit on that? Is that all wide enough to to get your head through? Because it looks like that's really...
It's easy to get your head through, but you must make it in a stretch fabric. So I've had people try and make this out of wovens, and you can do it, but you then need to put like a zip down one of it. But they're only darts, so you have to then split the dart open. So you could potentially put the zip in the collar there, on the shoulder seam, but it would be I think it'd be quite rough coming up at that angle. But I have seen it done, and I have helped somebody do it as well. But we added a placket behind here where the zip went in. The cat has just
boiled was stretchy then.
Boiled wool is stretchy.
That's what I didn't even sort of consider this. It doesn't need much stretch.
No, so boiled wool is, if it's true boiled wool, it's 100% wool. It's not actually boiled, but it is pre-shrunk. So it's a knitted fabric, like a sweater knit, but quite tightly knitted with quite a fine thread. And then it's heat, moisture and agitation, which then actually makes it shrink and makes it really, like, some people would call it a fulled wool. So all the fibres become slightly matted together, makes it thick and lovely, really sculptural actually, which is why you can get such a nice...
And warm.
Really warm, like so warm.
But do you not find, like, I've got really sensitive skin. I don't know after a while if I would find that it's not itchy. It certainly isn't like an itchy wool, but I don't know I could wear that. Could you do it out?
Well, actually, the reason I'm wearing a silk scarf with this today is because this one I have faced with the wool itself, and I find after a while, like I'm fine in the morning, but by the afternoon I'm just sort of tugging at it, whereas with a scarf inside I'm fine. But this one, which I made first, I've actually faced the neckline with a viscose jersey binding, which makes it sort of it's softer, but also less bulky around the neck as well, which I actually prefer. So this one I've still got to alter. I'll show you it, but then you can see. So this one, I don't like the way it lays as much. I mean, I love the shape,
slightly thicker,
but it does look thicker, and I think I prefer it when I faced it with the binding. The other thing you could do, because it's a boiled wool and it doesn't fray, you could just chop that neckline, to just leave that neckline raw.
Oh, of course, I see what you mean.
And have the facing, rather than stitching it and turning it to the inside and understitching it like you would with the normal facing, you could just have it raw edge and have the facing on the inside also raw edge. But it does go teeny bit, like it bobbles just a teeny bit on the edge when it's like that, which is a lovely effect on a seam, but I think somehow on the neckline it might look a little bit scruffy. So I still prefer the idea of it being tucked in, but I'm going to change this one and make it like that with the facing.
Yeah.
But I love the cut of this. I love the split hem. I know you're not keen on a two-length hem.
I don't think so. I think I always tend to wear something, like this, so I tend to wear I know that
Because
the other version
the
does,
other
yes.
version of the toaster has a 2-height hem, although this is more dramatic. So this actually, the split starts from my waist.
I guess that kind of gives you a bit more warmth when you sit down. I guess you do have that, so that you're sort of sitting, so you kind of have a bit more.
Yeah.
Sort of down the
It's,
back.
yeah, it's nice. You'd have to tuck it up when you go to the loo, I guess.
Make sure that's
Not
out the
really
way.
had to worry about that, but
But you had some boot clay. I know, I can see it there.
Yeah.
You've got it out. Could I make? Is there enough stretch in the boot clay to
Totally.
make this? Because that feels.
but
amazing.
not all boot clays. The boot clays that we have are polyester boot clay, and they're a boot clay knit. So again, it's a knitted fabric.
Okay.
So if it was a boot clay in a traditional sense, which is a woven, and boot clay is just a loop in the weaving process.
Yes.
But because this is a knitted boot clay, it's again got that all that stretch.
It's so soft.
I know, it's lovely.
By comparison, it's just like you couldn't wait to put that on your skin.
It's not as warm because it's not natural fibre, so the wool is like superior in warmth. But this is much more affordable. It's nearly half the price. Well, yeah. This is £15 a metre, and the boiled wool ranges between £24 and £30 a metre. So this is a lot more affordable. So if you want to try out a pattern and you're not sure whether you're going to like the cut, you could use this as like a 12 fabric.
Yeah.
This also behaves the same way in that when you cut the edge, it's not going to fray or unravel.
Okay.
So that does make really nicely. And actually, I have to say, one of my students made a jacket in the cream last week, which is actually insanely soft. Feel how soft that one is compared to the others.
That is good. Why is that one softer?
Softer. Don't know.
Funny, isn't it? How you
They
have-
just. I think it's part of the dyeing process. Sometimes, maybe it's because it has no dye. It's just
Yeah.
crazy, crazy soft. But she made a raw edged coat in it, which I will put an image of now. It was just beautiful. So stylish as well. So she made that in a day, and you can't see the picture, so you'll have to use your imagination. But her whole outfit just went with this coat that she'd made that day, and it was just perfect.
I think that you could also make is it 3-piece? Is it made from 3 pieces? It's a pattern that you've been doing embroidery
That's
on.
just one piece.
Oh, it's just one.
One piece.
It's just one piece.
Yeah,
And I
you
reckon you
could.
could do that out of this as well.
So the other thing that's worth bearing in mind is that boiled wool really, like superficially, looks the same on both sides. So one side you have, if you knit, you'd know the difference. You have your knit, and on the other side you see your purl stitch. But when it's like boiled out, or when it's not actually boiled, when it's heat treated, when it's washed, it's shrunk down. So you do see a more nubbly side, but it's very subtle.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, you have got very much like the boot clay side, and then the back, which is more like just a
I
fleece.
see what you mean.
So if you're having a raw edge coat and you're seeing, sorry, it'll be this way around, wouldn't it?
Of course.
That you have to bear in mind that the
you're
inside
going to see
is
it
different. Whereas with the boiled wool, although you have the slightly more nubbly side on the outside, on the whole, you really can't tell the difference. So then your raw edge coat, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I have pulled out some patterns, which would be really good in both boiled wool and boot clay.
Oh, cool.
Should we have a little look at those?
Yeah, definitely.
So this is the Talviki, which is what I'm wearing, which hopefully will pop up on your screen so you can see it a bit more closely. And these, please excuse the crinkling paper, these ones are also fab patterns. These will pop up on the screen, which all work really well with a boiled wool. And
Style
boot
up
clay.
like there.
Yeah, so
There are coats that would work. with that.
ironically, it's all the Australian companies that I think do really, really good patterns that work well with boiled wools.
Well, of course, they have all the walls over
Yeah.
there, don't they?
But they also have really warm weather.
Well,
It does get cold in the winter, I guess.
For them.
For them. So this one's actually designed to be made out of wovens, but I can't see any reason why this one couldn't be made in a boiled wool as well. So that's the Adelaide jacket. I think all of those would make fantastic boiled wool. They're so rustly, I'm just going to put them there. We're conscious of the sound.
Yes.
We're trying to improve our sound quality for you guys.
Yeah, seeing if we can just get
Seeing
it
if we can improve it
to
slightly,
get a bit better.
which means making less extraneous noises. We're not doing so well today, are we? The
It's
phone's
good,
rung
it's
about
good.
5 times.
It's been edited out, don't worry.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
So jumpers, that we've done sort of jumpers and what we're wearing.
Yeah.
you've been busy making other things as well.
I have. I'll say it's been quite a while since our last vlog, sort of like our little video. So I bought a new sofa just before Christmas, or I bought it actually way back in the summer and it arrived just before Christmas. And I have got dogs and I really, really wanted to have a nice blanket that I could put down on my sofa, and so that the dogs can come up and give me a cuddle in the evening.
Yeah.
It's just like, I like them to come on the sofa at night. I don't want them to have it all the time, but like when I sit down at night, I love it that they all climb up and have a cuddle. So I could not find, this is the fabric of my sofa, and I could not find a blanket that looked nice with it. I just don't know why. I tried navy blue, didn't look right. I tried beige, didn't look right. I tried, that's the colour of my footstool, so I tried seeing if a cover and that would work. No, it just didn't work.
I can imagine for you it just looks a bit scruffy.
It did.
Yeah, you need something that's like smooth and taut across the sofa.
And nice. And so I came in and I bought 3 metres of the identical fabric to my sofa, and came in and I was like, Becky, can we make a throw out of this? Like, can we just make like a runner? And how would you suggest, and would I line the runner? Would I not line the runner? And Becky said, no, what I suggest you do is it's 2 cushions, it's 2 seats cushions. And she said, I think you should make basically a fitted sheet that kind of goes over each one, so that it actually, when it's on,
so it's not an entire cover with a zip and all of the gubbins like that.
No, because otherwise you have got to, by the time you take it off and then squeeze a cushion in it, it's too much.
So it's basically like a shower cap, isn't it, or a fitted sheet? But it kind of looks more like a shower cap because of the size, because of the shape of it, and it fits over the top of the cushion. Yeah. But Sarah's also
I made matching piping for that one. Maybe I'll put a couple of pictures in.
Yeah, we should
put that. Yeah, so I'll pop in a picture of the sofa as it was, and then we can put like a picture. Yeah, exactly. Spot the difference. See if you can see the difference, and then I'll show you a picture of the underneath. I was going to put elastic. I made a channel, and I was going to put either a thick elastic or cord, but actually it just works much better with the actual clips that you can sometimes put under bedding sheets. They're like bungee clips, and they were actually. It was just so easy to do. So in the end I scrapped the idea that I'd made all the channels for it and just put these bungee clips on that cost me £6 from Amazon, and I was just like, done. It was cheaper to use them than it literally was to buy the elastic to put around, and they're
quite quick to do as well, I think.
Yeah, and then we made this as well, and Becky has got in the shop, she's got some of this velvet piping for it's got to be well over a year. I mean, it's got to be, I keep going up to it, don't I?
Sarah's been going,
and I keep
can
touching
I put this
it
on my jacket?
I was just like,
you even thought about putting on pyjamas, didn't you?
Did not, and I just, could we get it? And she's like, no, she says, it's upholstery. She says, this is for like cushions or for anything. And I was like, cushions! So I'm running down there and I just couldn't wait. And I've got about this much left, sort of like, I made 2 cushions and obviously like miscalculated a bit. And I've got this much left, and it literally just sits right by myself, and I can't help it.
It's so soft.
Beautiful soft. So maybe
we'll
we can put a
picture here of all the different colours we do, and it does come in some lovely shades. But as you've gone for the stone beige.
Of course I went for stone. Of course I like the other colours, but I couldn't have put bright pink around it. Come on.
No.
Oh, but talking of pink. I have put shocking pink on something.
Oh, you have? Yeah.
I have. Your trousers. So, I have at last finished.
We were talking about these trousers before I went to Australia.
You went to Australia.
Which was ages ago now.
I know.
And Sarah's been making them. They're the Kelly pattern. This is another Australian pattern company. This is Style Up.
It is, it's Style Up, yeah. So, I made these, and I'm so happy with them. I'm just, they're lovely. But I had to change the waistband quite a bit, didn't I? So your ones, you followed the pattern exactly.
Well, yeah, I was so taken with Sarah's trousers like this. I thought, I could make myself some for travelling in. So I made some too, which I'll show you. Mine here.
Actually, we may as well, show yours. So.
Show and tell.
My trousers, Becky's trousers. Becky's a bit smaller than mine, but
I didn't put pockets down the side of mine.
Yes,
because I knew I was only really wearing them for travelling, and I thought I'm just going to end up with someone like posting biscuit crumbs or something in mine, so I will just keep it.
Did you do them on the back though? You did,
yeah, I've got pockets on the back. So otherwise they're
the same.
They're even quite a similar colour.
They are, but you did the normal, didn't you? You just did you put elastic in, or did you?
So
elastic and tie in yours.
Put elastic in no, I've overlocked the elastic on, flipped it to the inside, and then I've top stitched it once on the outside, because I also wasn't sure that I'd definitely keep them this size. They do fall down on me. I think I should have made the elastic a little bit tighter, which obviously I can't now just pull the elastic.
No, because it's
so
stitched in.
I do use the tie on mine.
Yes, to pull it in.
To make sure that they stay up.
And I think, was the original, I nearly said recipe then, was the original pattern, was it not just that you just put the tie through and it wasn't for elastic?
I don't know.
I'm sure it was just the original one, was just a tie waist, not elastic. So basically...
I never really follow the instructions.
Yeah, so I did it like that, and it just didn't work. I know it sounds, they bunched in the wrong places, and I thought, no, I want the elastics, a bit like you, stitched in so that it's the same gather all the way round. And then I did it with a bit of overlocking.
Yeah.
But then me, with my sensitive skin that I just mentioned earlier, drove me mad. I tried them on, and I was just like, oh no. I was like, no, this is like all the way round. I can feel it. And I think you said it was just the edge of the overlocking. Yeah. I think you said it just, whichever side I'd done it on, it was just catching. So, as you're saying,
she who never wears bright
colours. Well, I love it. It just doesn't suit me. So I got some jersey bias tape, and I stretched it to sort of go in, and now I've got that in there. So now I have
a little pop of colour.
A pop of colour. So you see, so I did it. Did it. And then the trousers for me weren't quite long enough. I would make them longer next time. But I say I would. I still think I'd do this way next time.
So we did a self-faced hem using the scraps of the leftover fabric. And
how we got that out of it.
It means you can do a hem with just the tiniest little seam allowance at the bottom. So sometimes I do this with bias binding, but this one we did on the straight because that's actually the fabric we had left. And it was attached with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, turned in the inside, understitched, and then flipped up so that there looks like a decent sized hem on the outside.
Yeah, but all made with...
But it gives you the weight of a proper
and that's what I
hem.
thought it does. It just gives.
I actually really like the finish with an understitch on there as well.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
So mine. So that was.
I had because mine also on the short side. I had to do mine with just two small turns.
Yeah, a really small one. And I did get a label in there somewhere. I did have a label on the inside, but it was again, it drove me mad as well. But I do have a worth the effort one, and we put it down here. Yeah. And then I put it on the wrong pocket, so it's facing forwards, not backwards. And then I took it off of there and put it on the right side, and it didn't look right because it was too near my knee. And they were like, right, we're going to take it off and we're going to put it on the back pocket. And after positioning it about 5 times, I now have a pair of trousers that I'm very happy with. And haven't worn yet because I only finished them last week. So.
Also, it's not quite the weather.
Not quite cargo pants.
It's not quite this cold, but it's not quite that warm.
Exactly, yeah. So it's kind of in the middle. But I am hoping to be going on holiday in March. So
where are you going?
I don't know yet. I'm going to book.
Oh, of course, you're booking last minute.
We're booking last minute deliberately. So I've got the time booked, and I want to basically book a holiday based on the weather forecast, so that I know I'm going somewhere sunny.
Yes.
It's going to drive me mad if not. Tunisia is quite high up on the list, just because of brilliant offers. So if anyone has any tips about Tunisia, that would be great. And also, even if it's like, don't go there, I don't mind what they are. I haven't booked it yet, so there was Tunisia, or anyone, any sort of suggestions for a really warm holiday, somewhere not hideously expensive, not after an expensive one, just a cheap week in the sun. So
I've just realised I've got this boiled wool garment, that my other Talbiki sweater, but I've got another project on the go which I was going to just show you quickly. We are toying with the idea of having these patterns in the shop. So many of my students have been making this pattern. It's by Tessuti Patterns, another Australian pattern company. They actually do some really fabulous patterns as well for using with boiled wool, which is why I was thinking of getting them in. And it's the Kyoto vest, which is a little waistcoat. Now mine is not put together yet because I'm embroidering mine, which is why it's still, I'd say in pieces, but it's a one-piece pattern. It's fantastic. So literally the back wraps around the front and kind of comes up and overlaps like that and then goes around the back of the neck. But I've
probably put a picture in, couldn't we?
We can put a picture of how it looks when it's finished. Yeah. In fact, I'll put one of Janice in hers right about here. But I'm embroidering mine, and I'm really into embroidery at the moment. So I'm wearing my embroidered jeans today, which were ready to wear. But everyone always says, "Oh, did you do that yourself?" No, I didn't. But I am doing this one myself. So this is my work in progress. This is So this is the back panel. So you'll have to use your imagination here. So that bit will go down the centre back like that. This is such a clever little pattern. This then is the front, wrapped up there and that up there. This is a really flattering pose. And then this overlaps like so. And that's how it then fits. And you just fasten it with a kilt pin or a safety pin or a brooch. But I've decided to go completely mad and just embroider it all. So I'm going to have embroidery all the way around the collar, which is going to join up around the back. And then obviously the back panel as well. Thinking about doing these as kits. Several people have had a look at this and gone, oh, I'd love to make one of those. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll gauge whether or not it's worth making these up as kits. But I've just been using the scraps of yarn that I've got left over from various needlepoint projects and other embroidery projects, because I love having something to do with my hands in the evening. So I work until about 10 because I'm teaching in the evenings, but when I get home at 10 I just like to have something just calm and therapeutic to do, and so I sit and do embroidery. Although, do you ever get this with, you don't like hand sewing anyway, but you know when you're doing something and you're like listening to something else at the same time, do you ever then when you look at the thing you were doing remember what it was you were listening to?
No.
You don't ever get that? No. So every time I look at this, I think about the TV shows that I was watching.
Oh, no, sorry, I was misunderstanding. If I concentrate too hard on something in detail, if I'm watching TV, I'm not paying attention to the story on the story. I was misunderstanding how you were saying it.
The red bit of this is The Traitors.
Uh-huh.
So we're just, the fantastic series.
Yes.
Oh my God. Love it. My brother loves it so much, he's actually now watching all of the other countries' versions back to back straight afterwards. So yeah, the red bit is the Traitors, and I've been doing the blue bits while I've been watching The Tourist.
Oh, is that good? The Tourist?
I enjoyed the first series more.
Okay.
I did enjoy the
Are you
first series more.
fully into the second series yet?
I've
so
done
in
it.
other words,
Finished.
Oh, so in
Finished.
other words, it's
Yeah.
not like it was
I've got
a
to
slow
find a new
starter.
series to carry on, otherwise I don't know how I'm going to carry on with this. I think I also watched Fool Me Once while I was watching this, while I was embroidering this as well. So yeah, I look back at this and it's just a tapestry of various TV shows, but no one else can see that. Anyway, so yeah, that's another little embroidery project I've got going on.
Okay.
And
there's
one more, yes, so this one, so if you're interested in seeing this from the start, you can follow my Studio Snippets Instagram account, and I've done a blow-by-blow account of what I've actually been doing with this on there in stories, I think it is, and I might make it into a reel when I'm finished. But this was a tablecloth. It was an embroidered tablecloth I bought from eBay. This is what remains of it now. But this is going to be my little jacket. So I've cut the corners of the tablecloth have become the front, and so that I didn't have to cut panels and lose any of the cloth. I haven't put a side seam. I've done a dart that comes up from the hem and then a dart that spurs off it as a bust dart. So it's a bit of a weird cut. I haven't got a pattern for this because I will never make it again. It's just I made a one-off just to fit this tablecloth, which is 1 metre 12 by 1 metre 12. So I've made a whole jacket out of a square of fabric, which was really too small to even be able to make an Ogden cami. So I'm really chuffed, and I've got leftovers, but this is this is work in progress. You will see this finished and I will be wearing it all the time once it's done. That's the lining fabric I've chosen to go with it, which I think goes really nicely.
It's really pretty.
It's sweet,
I
isn't
really
it?
like that.
I
This
know,
is so clever.
I spent so long staring at this tablecloth thinking, oh my God, it's beautiful, can I really cut it up?
Where did you say you got it?
Just on eBay.
Just, yeah.
But if that went on a table, I can guarantee that it would have food or wine spilt on it straight away. And actually, as a garment, it will get more use. More people will see it. More people will appreciate the work. I didn't embroider this myself, obviously. I don't think it's actually vintage. I think it's a very vintagey colour palette on a vintagey coloured linen.
There for like a little clutch or something.
Well, someone the other day suggested I could put it as the yoke at the back of a pair of trousers.
Oh,
how lovely would that be?
Nice.
Anyway, don't worry, every single scrap of this is going to be used.
I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, so this
Becky uses everything. I mean, literally, I think I've said it before. There are scraps that Becky has that are like this big, and I'm like,
well, I showed you that patchwork bag I made before Christmas, didn't I? And I literally fished little tiny bits out of the bin and sewed them all together and made a little purse.
I know.
Yeah, it was really pretty. Anyway, Yeah, I don't waste anything.
Yeah. Pretty much it. The only thing that I have made, I'm just about to start in class making the Maison Fauve Solifor dress. So I'm about to start making this out of this fabric here. Oh no, where was I? Is this me?
You were going to make it from this fabric.
Yeah, but where was I? Where did I get the fabric from?
Oh, Barcelona? Madrid?
Madrid. I think this is a Madrid one.
You jet setter.
I think this one's Madrid.
Yeah.
And we managed to cut out an Ogden at the same time, didn't we?
All my clothes remind me of TV shows I've watched, and all
my clothes remind me of places I've been.
How my life has changed.
With work. I do need to add this. I'm not a jet setter.
I used to go places.
Do things. But we had just enough, not even quite in the right format, didn't we, for cutting? So we've had to put a little extra panel in the side here. So with Becky's help, I don't think you'd ever notice it. It's just under my arm. It's only on one side. We didn't need it on both sides. And then obviously not anywhere near enough fabric left over for a facing. So
but that's okay. We can put something different.
Bias
we're going to bias tape.
Yeah. So I've got we just got black, haven't we? I think just
or dark navy.
I think I've got some black. If you've got dark navy, I'll get that from you. Your dark navy, if you.
But this fabric is so springy. Sarah wanted to test it out before she made her dress, and so every seam is likely to be top stitched one side or the other. So this is why we're doing
a dummy run
to use the fabric. So that's actually another really good tip. If you've got a fabric that's tricky, once you cut your garment out, use what's left over. In fact, I always do this. I keep all the scraps of my fabric to test out the overlocker, the stitches on the sewing machine,
I do that.
the needles. You've just got to make sure that you know exactly how that fabric's going to behave before you start the real project.
And the other thing we did as well, Becky helped me. Ogden camis just too big for me by the time I got to sort of like 14 to sort of go over my top half. Everything it sort of came out to here. It was way too big, so put bust darts in it. So I was like, da, 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 da. And obviously I've made sure that completely copied. So now I can.
The actual Ogden cami now does have a version with bust darts for fuller figures, but actually if you want to make yours a little bit more shapely, it's not hard to do.
It wasn't hard at all.
We lengthened the front fractionally, took a dart at the side, and the reason you lengthen the front is so that then the side seams match up with the existing back panel. Yeah. But that's a tutorial for another day.
It took me a little while to get my head around that, didn't it? I was just like,
you're taking a wedge out the side so the front becomes shorter. But how does it become shorter? It just does, Sarah.
Sometimes it does just have to be. It just does. And then once you do it, I think the explanation sometimes is harder than when you actually see it. So this is kind of hopefully this is this weekend. Just sort of over the weekend finish this. I'm going to pick your brains on how I do that. And then start on the dress. And I think I've got a feeling I just might go back and have a go at making the, how did you pronounce it?
Talviki.
The Talviki. So I've seen yours on now.
But yours will be in boucle.
Oh, definitely in boucle.
Thinking the olive green?
Thinking maybe navy.
Maybe.
Because I have got so many jumpers in olive green because it's my colour. And
we've clearly overstayed our welcome with the camera because it's just cut out. So we'll just recap where we were. This is the colour range of boucle that we have. It also comes in black, but you can use your imagination. You don't need to know what black looks like. They look really lovely together. In fact, I've actually just made a patchwork beanbag, which I might have shown you. That's another thing I've shown on Instagram before. I made it out of these colours, and somehow and we've got a baby pink as well, which we're out of. I think we're waiting for more stock. But there's a whole range of these, and the colour range is lovely. They all go really well together. Even the rich ones go with the muted ones because they're all slightly toned down. So none of them are what I would call like primary colours. So they all kind of tone in together. Anyway, Scrummy, you're going to make one of these in navy blue.
The Talviki, so I think I'm going to do navy blue.
I'm going to finish my embroidery. And
I'm going to finish the old
You're going to finish that. So we're holding ourselves accountable here. I'm going to finish that, you're going to finish that, and then next time we speak to you, we might even be wearing them.
Yes.
Or they might be in a bag with some pins in and we'll be like, they're nearly finished. If you've liked what we've shown you today, do check out the fabrics. The boucles are all available on our website, and the boiled wools are also all available on our website. I've just added another couple of colours as well. We've got some beautiful blues. In fact, here, I'll just show you this one. Did I show you this one before?
No, I don't.
This colour, isn't it divine?
Beautiful.
It's
so
almost flecked.
To you and me.
This, yeah, we can both wear this. One of the few things we can both wear. Maybe we should make matching.
Matchy. And if we put matchy labels in it, then it'll be like you and me matchy. We have to have
Would
them
we
on the
wear them
outside
out
somewhere.
together or not? I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. Might be pushing it. Anyway, the whole range of boiled wools are also on the website, and if you follow the link below, you can see our suggestions for patterns as well that we think go really well with a boiled wool. They're really great beginners fabrics too, because they don't fray. You don't need an overlocker. You don't need any expensive machinery. But I would say that if you're unsure about using it for the first time, you could use boucle just to have a kind of trial run, but the quality of this is superior to the polyester, and it is really so nice. Warm. And I'm going to take this jumper off any moment now. And on that note, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.
You take care.
Bye. Bye.